Hello friends, welcome to the third tutorial of our series of creating dashboards from Tally data. So this tutorial I will be focusing specifically on the sales dashboard. Okay. So a quick recap in the previous tutorial, basically uh, we prepared a SQL query. So we connected data, okay, and prepared a SQL query. So you can directly copy paste SQL query if you want from the YouTube description, okay, video description. Now let's start. Okay, with us, I think let's start with the this monthly sales, which is a bit easy and covers many things. Okay, so these are sales basically. Okay, now I can collapse this output, and I already renamed this output as DF accounting view. Now accounting view means this contains data for all purchase, sales, and everything. So now we require one more cell or data where we have only sales data. Okay, so let me reuse this. So I will insert one more cell here below, or rather I will insert a table now. Okay, because it is a bit easy to format. So instead of writing this SQL query with filters, we can very quickly filters here. So now this is about the sales. So what data we require for sales? So basically we need to exclude all the rows other than the sales. Okay, so which filters I should be applying? So firstly, you can see voucher type, or you can use voucher category for better one. So I should be applying the filter. So I should filter out only vouchers which are of type sales and credit note for sales return. Okay, so now this is equal to, so at the time I can select only one voucher type. So I will say is one of, that means a list. So the voucher category should be either sales or credit note. Okay, let's apply this. So the rows gets reduced. Okay, now we can see only sales and credit note. Now there is one issue. There are debits and credit both. So if we prepare our charts based on this, the amount would sum up to zero because there is both. Okay, so voucher is balanced. So I need to exclude or rather include only those rows of our accounting where my sales account is credited. Okay, so I'll apply one more filter. Now this time I will apply filter on primary group of the ledger. Okay, primary group, because you can have multiple groups under sale, but ultimately Tally says that primary group is a system defined sales group. So I'll say only filter those rows where sales account is either debited or credited, because in credit note it would be the debit. So we'll apply the filter. So mostly now you would find only positive amounts, that means credit, or maybe if it is sales return credit note, it would be negative, so which would sum up to the sum amount. So this is our view. Now this table, this tabular data we can use for creating our charts. Okay, so let's name this table. Let's say df means data frame sales. Okay, because in future we'll create even for purchase. Okay, now this has even reduced number of rows, so this would be faster one. Let's collapse this. Okay, now let's start with chart. Let's start with our first chart. Okay, so which is basically monthly sales. Okay, so I will insert chart here in next cell. Okay, and here it will ask you which output, okay, data frame output you need to select. So I will say DF sales. Please reuse this. Okay, not the accounting. Okay, by default it would try to auto create, but we don't want this. Okay, I will close this, means I will remove this. Okay, let me start from scratch. Okay, now on the x-axis, basically we require months. Okay, so months are in the dates. So in x-axis, we should have date field. Okay, now we don't want daily but monthly. So from here I will select month. So this is a format which would be displayed for months. Okay, now it will still not display because nothing we have put on axis, y-axis. So it has nothing to display. So on y-axis, we would be having sales amount. So naturally, the amount column contains only the sales related rows. So I'll select amount. Now you will see the months. Okay, in properly sorted fashion. So these are our monthly sales. Now, few things we can tweak, like let's say I will rename this. Okay, so if you go to style, you can see all this. Okay, x-axis title. So instead of the system generated, I would say month, and here sum of amount. So I would say amount, or maybe you can say turnover, whatever you want. This is a turnover. I think this is very long. Maybe I'll put amount only, whatever you want. And you want to, if you want to display the numbers, so you can go here and tell it to display. There is one setting called data label. Okay, so which would display the amounts here. So you can hide this and see if the numbers accommodate properly or not. Okay, and let's give this chart some title, monthly sales. Okay, you can give the title here, monthly sales. Let's see if we are close to this. Okay, so we are almost close to this. Now let's verify our figures with the tally. So I will go here and into sales. Okay, 13059,710. Perfect. Randomly 5046888 for November. For November. Okay. So you can see the figures matching. And in July we had one credit notes. So it should be net of both. Let's check for July 26017. Okay, so this is net of both. Okay, so this chart is proper. Now let's say now let's reuse this chart. Okay, so you don't I want to create daily sales. Okay, so I can very easily reuse this without again recreating this whole chart. So what I can do, I can click and duplicate it. Okay, I can click and duplicate this. So now here in date x-axis, instead of month we can have date. So this would show it daily, a line chart sort of. But we don't want stack column, so it should be line chart. Let's see. Okay, so this is a daily sale. Now randomly it is displaying the data label. Okay, so this might look congested, but maybe you have good insight of in on which date this sales actually spiked. Okay, you can check this dates. Now quarterly. So you might be saying, okay, very easy. Quarterly sales. Just go duplicate. Now instead of, again I will use stack chart only. Instead of month, you'll assign quarter. But there is one issue. So this is following global system of quarter. Okay, where Q1 starts in Jan to Jan, Feb, March. Okay, but we want Indian system of quarters. Okay. So we will have to slightly tweak our, not tweak, we will add one more column called quarter. Okay, so I will open up this cell. Okay, and I would say that I want to add a column here. Okay, I want to add a column. Rather, let's add a column here in the main uh, accounting view itself. Okay, because we will require this even for purchase. Okay, so I will add one column. Now here you can type very easy Excel like formula instead of writing SQL. So let's say if month of the date is greater than 9. Now this is same like an Excel formula. It should be Q3. Okay, Q3. Otherwise, again if month of the date field greater than 6, then it should be Q2 for us. Otherwise, in else we will have another if month of the date field greater than 3, it should be Q1. Otherwise, it is Q4. Q4. So month greater than 9, that means 10, 11, 12. October, November, December is Q3. Okay, Q2. Otherwise, you will end up with Q4. Okay, and here let's rename this as QTR short, so that it doesn't clashes with system quarter. So here now we'll have the field by name QTR. So automatically this is the master cell. So the next accounting view, so the sales view will automatically derive this column. Okay, because this is dependent on this. Okay, so this is a child cell of this. So automatically anything we add in here, accounting view would get added to in this sales one. Okay. Okay, now here instead of date, I will say quarter, QTR field. Don't use system defined date. Where okay, now this is perfect. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You can change coloring from here if you want. Something like this, whatever color you want. So I can go here and change whatever I want to do with this. Okay. Now let's try to add a target line. This is optional thing. Let's say if you have monthly target set. Okay. So you can add target line for any quarter, month. So I will add it for month for ease. Okay. So if you go here in this style and if you scroll down, you will find a thing called reference lines. Okay. So you can add a reference line. What would be the name? So it would be, let's say, target sales. And what should be the value? Let's say 4 crore is our monthly target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that line color should be maybe red. Okay. So we'll have a red color line here. This is a target sales. Let's try to bring, so you can have this target sales here, or if you want to bring this inside, you can select top left, something like this. You can play with this setting. Okay. Anyway, you can keep on playing with all these settings and try to see if you can make it even more innovative. Okay. So like this, we can even put this thing, target sales. Okay. Or reference line, you can say. Let's name all these charts. So now if you see, the quarterly chart maybe should be at the top. So I can say move up. So move this cells up. I will collapse this because it is now confusing a bit. So this is quarterly sales. Say quarterly sales, then we have monthly sales, and third one is daily sales. Okay, like this you can make. Let's create few more advanced level charts. Okay. Now I will create one more chart. So this is my monthly sales, but I want bifurcation of this uh, sales per month. So let me go to the chart of accounts in the tally. Okay. So if you go to chart of accounts, my datas are divided into corporates and e-commerce. So if I put a party level bifurcation, you will find many parties and that would simply be crammed and look very bad. Okay, so I want this group, party group, to appear here. Okay, so my graph, this graph should get divided into this. So let me duplicate this and maybe let's move, or we'll move it later. Okay, so I will remove this target line, or if you want you can keep. Okay, so I'll remove this target line, and here I will drag one more axis. Okay, for colors, so I will say the party group. Okay, party group. So now the same, these bars get divided into parties, corporate and e-commerce. So there is, okay, now this is even better, that what was the composition for every month, what was the composition of corporate sales and e-commerce sales. Okay, so let's rename this. So I will say category, whatever name you want to give. Okay, you can say, you can name it anything. Let's add a title, so you can add title here. Okay, I would say monthly sales category wise, anything, any name you want to give. Let's prepare a pie chart now. Okay, I think let me move this down, move down. Now let's prepare a pie chart. So I will maybe reuse this. I will duplicate this. Now I want to prepare pie chart like this. So, or maybe, yeah, like this. Okay, so I want bifurcation of party group. Okay, for the amount. So basically, let me remove this. Okay, and try to reset this. I will keep amount. Okay, now instead of this, I will say pie chart. Okay, now size by amount, but color by what? So party group. So I removed month totally from here. Okay, so I don't want month here. Rename this category. So I just removed all the month and this thing so that I get end up with total sales. Okay, total sale amount. And so the size of this pie should be driven by amount, and the coloring should be based on party groups. Okay, various. You can slightly play with this. Just go into this style. Okay, like you can, instead of value you can show percent like this also, which is even better to read, and you can even play with the colors if you want. Like the data label, if you want, can put it outside, maybe anything you which you want to do. And legend, let's say if this not looking nice, maybe you can shift it to the bottom like this, or top, anything you want to do. Okay, let me rename this category wise sales composition, whatever name you want to give. I'm giving any random names. Two more charts and we will close this. Okay, so now let's say this category wise sales. So instead of this stacking up, you want it grouped. Okay, so let's duplicate this, and instead of stack, you can just say group charts. Okay, so that would be a comparative. Again, one more option. Okay, and now one more thing we are left with, which is very important, is total sales. Okay, very important insights. Total turnover. So I will go at the top and maybe insert it here. Okay, somewhere between here. Add cell. Now, this is not a chart, but a single value. Okay, so I will go to its setting. Now, which column do you require? It says. So I want to total up entire amount. Okay, and apply which operation? Sum operation. And let's format this annual turnover. Not necessary I have to mimic this. Okay, annual turnover. Okay, so which matches with our tally 327954472. If I go in the tally and check, sorry, profit loss, yeah, 32794. Okay. So this should ideally match with your tally. If it doesn't matches, then maybe you have some of the sales bills or purchase sales bills pending. So you have made GRN, GDN, but you forget to prepare a sales invoice. Okay, so in that scenario, it would match. Do not match. So just prepare the sales invoice and it would match. Okay. Now let's do some polishing. Like let's have a section header. Okay. So I would say markdown. Okay. Markdown. Now, markdown is nothing but a special type of text. Okay. With some extra syntax. Like let's say if you type one hash and so this is my sales dashboard. Okay. So if you put two hash, it would be, sorry, subcategory. It would be a subcategory. Font will reduce a bit. Okay. But I think this is my main category. So like this. Okay. So we are done with our basic level editing. Now, if you want to view like this, it is up to you. Whenever you want to refresh, you can always come here and press run all. So it would refresh all the data. Okay. From your latest version of the database server. So you should keep on running utility maybe every day, or you can also put it on the auto mode. Okay, which I have demonstrated in another video. Don't worry, I will be covering this in another video where you can put a timer to the utility to run every few hours. Okay, so like using this, you can refresh. Now let's package this as an app so that we don't have all this thing. Otherwise, what might happen? Your maybe staff might accidentally edit this. Okay, so this is a packaged dashboard where you cannot actually edit it. This is all fixed. So all the editing menu has gone away. So let's package it. So there is a app builder here. Okay, so you can publish app. Now here you will have to control what things should be viewed. So which things should be viewable here. So if you go here, you'll find this add to app builder. So if you click this, so these blocks would appear. Like I want my this bar chart to appear. So I will click here and add to app. Okay. So all this icon will see an icon like this. And this output, this is just a output I am using. So I will not make it visible to app. Okay. So I will disable it. So I'll not click here. So let's click on make it visible. Okay. Let's publish this, publish app. Maybe let's say our version. Okay. V1, V2, you can use something like, or V1.1, something like this. Okay. And if you, so it will show you a preview of this app. If you see now that tabular data which we use, it is not appearing. Okay. So we'll say publish app. Okay. Now if you go here and into projects, this test project, if you click here, now your users would be able to see this. Okay, so you can invite many users from your organization. Okay, so can simply go here in these settings. Maybe I'm not here. Settings, and you can invite users. Yeah, users. So you can invite users from your organization. So you'll have to maybe put their email ID. Yeah, email ID, and what type of roles they should have. Only view or edit. Okay. So all the end users, you should be adding their email ID with viewer access. So they can log in into the X with their viewer ID. Okay. So like this, you can publish your dashboard to your end users. Okay. So that's it for this video. Next tutorial, we will see how to prepare purchase dashboards.